Genesis 1:28. God blessed them and said to them, "Be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, and over every living creature that moves on the ground." God's first blessing upon humanity was a command to be fruitful, multiply, and take dominion. This promise is not just about physical multiplication, but also about flourishing in all aspects of life, spiritually, emotionally, financially, and in your calling. God has designed you to walk in abundance, productivity, and purpose. May the Lord bless you and cause you to be fruitful in every area of your life. May your hands produce great works, and may your influence multiply. May you walk in divine authority, subduing every challenge and taking dominion over every situation. May the fruitfulness of God's promise be evident in your family, career, and spiritual life as you fulfill His purpose for you. Genesis 3:15. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel. This is the first prophetic promise of redemption. Though sin entered the world, God immediately set a plan in motion for salvation. Jesus, the offspring of the woman, would ultimately crush the enemy's power, conquering sin and death. Even in humanity's failure, God declared victory for His people. May you live in the freedom of Christ's triumph. May you never be bound by guilt, shame, or condemnation, for the enemy has already been defeated. May you walk in the authority Christ has given you, knowing that no weapon formed against you will prosper. May every attack be met with divine power, and may the heel that was once struck now rise in strength to crush every stronghold in your life. Stand firm in the truth that no darkness can overcome the light of God within you. You are more than a conqueror, and the enemy's defeat is irreversible. Genesis 5:24. Enoch walked faithfully with God. Then he was no more, because God took him away. Enoch's life was a promise that intimacy with God leads to a supernatural destiny. His faithfulness set him apart, and God honored his devotion by taking him directly into His presence. May you walk so closely with God that His presence becomes your constant companion. May your faithfulness open doors to divine encounters. May you live a life that pleases the Lord, leading to favor beyond measure. May every step you take be in alignment with His will, and may you experience His glory in ways that set you apart. May your relationship with God be so deep that heaven itself responds to your faithfulness. In Genesis 6:18. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you will enter the ark, you and your sons and your wife and your sons' wives with you. God promised Noah that despite the coming judgment, he would establish a covenant of protection and preservation. This reveals God's faithfulness to rescue His people and provide a way of safety in the midst of chaos. May the Lord establish His covenant with you and your household. May you find safety in His presence, even when the world around you is unstable. May His hand cover you in times of storm, and may you enter into divine rest, knowing that He has made a way for your preservation. Just as the ark carried Noah and his family to safety, may the promises of God carry you through every season of uncertainty. May you and your loved ones always dwell under His divine covering, shielded from destruction and secured in His perfect will. Genesis 8:22. As long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, Day and night will never cease. This is a promise of divine order, provision, and the principle of sowing and reaping. After the flood, God assured Noah that the natural cycles of life would continue. Seasons of planting and harvest, times of hardship and renewal. This reminds us that no matter what we face, God's faithfulness remains constant. Just as seasons shift, so do the circumstances of life, and a season of reaping will always follow a season of sowing. May you trust in the divine timing of God, knowing that He has set seasons in place for your good. May you never grow weary in sowing seeds of faith, kindness, and diligence, for in due time you will reap a bountiful harvest. May your efforts be fruitful, your labor never in vain, and your sacrifices yield an abundance beyond expectation. May you hold firm in seasons of waiting, knowing that winter will not last forever, and that a season of growth and restoration is always ahead. May God sustain and bless you through every change, ensuring that you flourish in His perfect timing. Genesis 9:11-13. I establish my covenant with you. Never again will all life be destroyed by the waters of a flood. Never again will there be a flood to destroy the earth. And God said, this is the sign of the covenant I am making between me and you and every living creature with you, a covenant for all generations to come. I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. This was God's first recorded covenant with humanity after the flood. It was a promise of mercy, protection, and renewal. The rainbow became a sign of His faithfulness, reminding us that even in judgment, God's grace prevails. May you always be reminded of God's faithfulness, even in the storms of life. May you rest in the assurance that His mercy will always surround you. Just as He set a rainbow as a sign of His promise, may His grace be evident in your life. May every trial you face lead to renewal, and may you walk in the confidence that destruction is not your portion. The Lord is your protector, and His covenant of peace will stand for generations to come. Genesis 12:2-3. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse, and all peoples on earth will be blessed through you. This promise to Abraham was one of divine multiplication, favor, and protection. It was not just a personal blessing, but an inheritance that would impact generations. God called Abraham out of his familiar land, assuring him that his obedience would lead to something far greater than his present circumstances. His name would carry significance. His influence would extend beyond himself, and through him, the nations would experience the goodness of God. This same promise extends to all who walk in faith today. We are blessed to be a blessing. May the Lord establish you and make your name great for His glory. May His favor rest upon you, expanding your influence and impact beyond what you can imagine. May every door you walk through be filled with divine opportunities, and may your name be associated with goodness, integrity, and grace. May those who bless you be blessed, and may every plan of the enemy against you be overturned by the hand of God. May you not only receive blessings, but become a source of hope, transformation, and favor to those around you. May your life be a testimony of God's faithfulness, and may generations after you reap the rewards of your obedience. You are not only blessed, you are a blessing to the nations. Genesis 13:14-17. The Lord said to Abram after Lot had parted from him, "Look around from where you are, to the north and south, to the east and west. All the land that you see I will give to you and your offspring forever. I will make your offspring like the dust of the earth, so that if anyone could count the dust, then your offspring could be counted. Go, walk through the length and breadth of the land, for I am giving it to you." This is a promise of inheritance and divine expansion. After parting ways with Lot, what could have felt like a loss became an opening for greater blessings. God reminded Abraham that his plans were not limited by human separations, but were rooted in his divine will. Even before Abraham physically possessed the land, God called him to see beyond his present circumstances, revealing that his blessings far exceed what we can currently see or understand. May the Lord open your eyes to see the vastness of his promises over your life. May you not be discouraged by separations or losses, for what God has ordained for you is unshakable. May you see beyond your current situation and embrace the inheritance he has set apart for you and your generations. May he expand your territory and lead you into divine increase. May you walk in faith, stepping boldly into every promise he has given you. May your life be filled with opportunities, abundance, and blessings that overflow, bringing glory to his name. And may your legacy be as numerous as the stars and as vast as the land he has prepared for you. Genesis 15:1. After this, the word of the Lord came to Abram in a vision. "Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your very great reward." This is a promise of divine protection, provision, and personal relationship with God. Abraham had just refused earthly rewards from a king, demonstrating his trust in God's provision. In response, God reassured him that he himself would be his defender and his ultimate reward. This promise extends to all believers, affirming that true security and fulfillment are found not in material possessions, but in God's presence. When the Lord is our shield, no harm can truly defeat us. And when he is our reward, we lack nothing of eternal value. May you never be afraid, for the Lord himself is your shield, surrounding you with divine protection. May he guard you from every danger, every attack, and every form of harm. May his favor cover you like a fortress, ensuring that no weapon formed against you prospers. May you find your deepest satisfaction in him, knowing that his presence is your greatest treasure. May your heart be anchored in the truth that no earthly possession or achievement can compare to the reward of having God as your portion. May his peace, provision, and presence be your unshakable foundation in every season of life. Genesis 15:5. He took him outside and said, "Look up at the sky and count the stars, if indeed you can count them." Then he said to him, "So shall your offspring be." God reaffirmed his promise to Abraham by shifting his perspective from the limitations of earth to the vastness of the heavens. Though Abraham was old and childless at the time, God spoke multiplication over his life, proving that he is not bound by human constraints. What seems impossible to us is effortless for him. This promise was not just about physical descendants, but about a legacy beyond measure. May the Lord enlarge your vision beyond your present reality. May you see not just what is, but what will be. May your faith rise above earthly limitations, and may you dream bigger than before. May your future be filled with divine increase, abundance, and expansion beyond what you can count. May you walk in the certainty that God's plans for you are greater than you could ever imagine. What He has spoken over your life shall come to pass, and generations will be blessed through you. Genesis 17, 2-4. Then I will make my covenant between me and you, and will greatly increase your numbers. Abram fell face down, and God said to him, As for me, this is my covenant with you. You will be the father of many nations. God establishes His covenant with Abraham, marking him as the father of many nations. This promise reveals God's faithfulness to bring increase and expansion to those who walk in covenant with Him. May the Lord establish His unshakable covenant with you. May your life be marked by divine favor, growth, and increase. May you walk in the assurance that He who has called you is faithful to fulfill every word spoken over you. May you be a source of blessing to many, and may your life leave a legacy that continues to impact generations. May His promise of greatness be evident in your life, and may His faithfulness be your foundation in every season. Genesis 17, 5-6. No longer will you be called Abram. Your name will be Abraham, for I have made you a father of many nations. I will make you very fruitful. I will make nations of you, and kings will come from you. God changed Abraham's name to align with His promise, marking a transformation in identity, purpose, and destiny. What once seemed impossible, becoming a father of many, became his reality. This was more than just a name change. It was a declaration of fruitfulness, legacy, and kingdom influence. May the Lord redefine your identity in alignment with His divine plans. May every limitation upon your destiny be removed, and may you step boldly into the fullness of His calling. May your life bear great fruit, and may nations be blessed through your obedience. May leaders and kingdom builders rise from your legacy, carrying forward the impact of your faithfulness. No longer will you be defined by past limitations, but by the promises of God over your life. Genesis 17, 6-7. I will make you very fruitful. I will make nations of you, and kings will come from you. I will establish my covenant as an everlasting covenant between me and you and your descendants after you for the generations to come, to be your God and the God of your descendants after you. God's covenant is not temporary, but eternal. It extends to generations, ensuring that His faithfulness is not just for you, but for your children and those who come after you. May your life be a foundation for generations of blessings. May the Lord make you fruitful in all you do. May your children and all who come after you walk in the covenant of divine favor. May kings and leaders arise from your lineage, and may your legacy be one of greatness. May the work you do today create an impact that lasts for generations to come, and may the Lord remain faithful to His promise over your household forever. Genesis 18:14. Is anything too hard for the Lord? I will return to you at the appointed time next year, and Sarah will have a son. This was a direct declaration of God's limitless power. Though Sarah laughed at the impossibility of bearing a child in old age, God reminded her that no obstacle is too great for Him. May you hold on to the truth that nothing is too hard for the Lord. May your faith rise above every doubt and impossibility. May you trust that His appointed time for your breakthrough is near. May your long-awaited prayers be answered, and may your testimony be one of miraculous fulfillment. When all seems hopeless, may you find strength in the Lord's unshakable power, knowing that He will do what He has promised. Here Genesis 21, 1 through 2. Now the Lord was gracious to Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did for Sarah what he had promised. Sarah became pregnant and bore a son to Abraham in his old age, at the very time God had promised him. This passage reveals the unwavering faithfulness of God. Despite Sarah's doubts and the seeming impossibility of her situation, the Lord fulfilled his word at the exact time he had planned. His promises are not bound by human limitations. When he speaks, it will surely come to pass. May the Lord be gracious to you and fulfill every promise he has spoken over your life. May you trust in his perfect timing, knowing that delay is not denial. May every long-awaited blessing manifest at the appointed time, just as he has spoken. May your testimony be one of divine fulfillment, and may you hold in your hands the undeniable proof of God's faithfulness. What he has promised, he will do. Nothing is too hard for the Lord. Genesis 21, 6 through 7. Sarah said, God has brought me laughter, and everyone who hears about this will laugh with me. And she added, who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? Yet I have borne him a son in his old age. This is a promise of joy and unexpected blessings. After years of waiting and even doubting, Sarah finally saw God's promise fulfilled, and her sorrow was turned into laughter. May the Lord bring you laughter and fill your heart with joy. May he turn your mourning into dancing and your sorrow into rejoicing. May people look at your life and see the goodness of God, and may your testimony cause many to glorify him. May every delay in your life turn into a miracle so great that it brings joy not only to you, but to everyone around you. May he surprise you with blessings that exceed your expectations and fill your mouth with songs of victory. In Genesis 22:14, so Abraham called that place the Lord will provide. And to this day it is said, on the mountain of the Lord it will be provided. This powerful promise was declared after God provided a ram in place of Isaac, revealing himself as Jehovah Jireh, the Lord our provider. It is a reminder that God sees our needs and provides at the right time. His provision is not limited by circumstances. He makes a way where there seems to be none. May you always experience the abundant provision of the Lord in every area of your life. May you never lack as you walk in obedience, for Jehovah Jireh is your source and sustainer. May he supply every need according to his riches and glory, making a way for you in difficult times. May his provision be timely and sufficient, and may you always declare with confidence, the Lord has provided, and he will continue to provide. Genesis 22, 17 to 18. I will surely bless you and make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and as the sand on the seashore. Your descendants will take possession of the cities of their enemies, and through your offspring, all nations on earth will be blessed because you have obeyed me. This is a promise of generational blessing, victory, and divine multiplication. Abraham's obedience unlocked favor that extended beyond his lifetime, shaping the destiny of nations. His faithfulness shows that our trust in God today can create ripples of blessing for generations to come. When we walk in obedience, God not only blesses us, but establishes an inheritance that impacts those after us. May your obedience open doors to supernatural increase and lasting impact. May the Lord multiply your influence like the stars and the sand, immeasurable and shining brightly. May you walk in divine victory, possessing every promise God has spoken over your life. May every battle turn into triumph, and may your legacy be one of faith, strength, and abundant blessing. May those who come after you reap the rewards of your faithfulness, and may nations be blessed through you. Because you trust in Him, may your future be filled with divine favor, unshakable victory, and a lasting testimony of God's faithfulness. Genesis 24:27. Praise be to the Lord, the God of my master Abraham, who has not abandoned his kindness and faithfulness to my master. As for me, the Lord has led me on the journey to the house of my master's relatives. This was a promise of divine guidance. Abraham's servant, on a mission to find a wife for Isaac, acknowledged that God had faithfully directed his steps. May the Lord lead you on every journey, making your paths straight. May you never feel lost or without direction, for His hand is upon you. May His kindness and faithfulness surround you, opening doors you never expected. May you reach every destination He has prepared for you, and may His guidance bring you into places of favor and fulfillment. May you always walk in the assurance that the Lord is directing your steps. Genesis 26:2-4. The Lord appeared to Isaac and said, "Do not go down to Egypt. Live in the land where I tell you to live. Stay in this land for a while, and I will be with you and will bless you. For to you and your descendants I will give all these lands, and will confirm the oath I swore to your father Abraham. I will make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky, and will give them all these lands, and through your offspring all nations on earth will be blessed." This was a promise of divine guidance and provision. In a time of famine, when logic would have told Isaac to flee to Egypt, God instructed him to stay where He had placed him. Despite difficult circumstances, God reaffirmed the covenant, promising to bless Isaac and his descendants abundantly. May you trust in the Lord's guidance, even when circumstances suggest otherwise. May you stay rooted where He has placed you, knowing that His provision is not dependent on earthly conditions, but on His divine promise. May the presence of the Lord be your greatest treasure and assurance, giving you peace wherever He calls you. May He bless you in the land of your obedience and make you a source of blessing to many. May your obedience open doors to divine inheritance, generational blessings, and supernatural provision. May He confirm His covenant in your life and establish you as a testimony of His faithfulness. May your obedience lead to generational impact, and may all who come after you reap the fruit of God's promise over your life. Genesis 26:12-13. Isaac planted crops in that land, and the same year reaped 100-fold because the Lord blessed him. The man became rich, and his wealth continued to grow until he became very wealthy. Isaac's story is a testimony that God's blessing defies natural limitations. Even in a time of famine, his harvest was abundant, not because of the land's conditions, but because of God's divine favor. His success was not dependent on external circumstances, but on the supernatural provision of the Lord. This promise reminds us that when God's hand is upon us, we will experience increase, even in unlikely conditions. May you experience divine multiplication in all that you do. May the Lord bless the work of your hands and cause you to reap 100-fold harvest. May you prosper, not because of worldly conditions, but because of his abundant favor upon you. May you thrive even in seasons of difficulty, knowing that his provision is limitless. May every good seed you plant yield an overflowing return, and may your influence, resources, and opportunities grow beyond measure. May your life be a testimony that the blessing of the Lord overcomes every famine, every limitation, and every obstacle. In him, may you always walk in supernatural abundance. Genesis 28, 3-4. May God Almighty bless you and make you fruitful and increase your numbers until you become a community of peoples. May he give you and your descendants the blessing given to Abraham, so that you may take possession of the land where you now reside as a foreigner, the land God gave to Abraham. This was a promise of expansion and generational blessings. As Jacob was about to embark on a journey into the unknown, Isaac pronounced a blessing over him, declaring that God would fulfill his covenant and make him great. May the Lord Almighty bless you and make you fruitful. May your life be a testimony of his overflowing abundance. May you grow in influence, touching the lives of many with his favor. May the blessing of Abraham rest upon you, establishing you in lands and territories meant for your inheritance. May your future generations walk in divine favor, possessing every promise that God has spoken over your lineage. Genesis 28:13-15. There above it stood the Lord, and he said, I am the Lord, the God of your father Abraham and the God of Isaac. I will give you and your descendants the land on which you are lying. Your descendants will be like the dust of the earth, and you will spread out to the west and to the east, to the north and to the south. All peoples on earth will be blessed through you and your offspring. I am with you and will watch over you wherever you go, and I will bring you back to this land. I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you. Jacob received this promise in a dream, a reminder that God's presence, protection, and guidance remain constant, even in unfamiliar places. It was a covenant of divine assurance that his word would come to pass no matter where life took him. May you walk in the confidence that God is always with you. May his presence go before you, making every path straight and guiding your steps. May you never feel abandoned, for he watches over you wherever you go, protecting you from harm. May you step forward in faith, knowing that his promises concerning you are unshakable. May your life be marked by divine favor, and may you be blessed in every place he has destined for you. The Lord will not leave you until he has fulfilled every word spoken over your life. His perfect plan will come to pass. Genesis 28, 20-21. Then Jacob made a vow, saying, If God will be with me, and will watch over me on this journey I am taking, and will give me food to eat and clothes to wear, so that I return safely to my father's household, then the Lord will be my God. Jacob experienced God's provision in his wandering years. He realized that God's presence was not tied to a place but followed him wherever he went. May the Lord watch over you wherever you go. May you never be outside of his care, and may his provision always be sufficient for your needs. May you find security in knowing that your life is held in his hands. Whether you are near or far from home, may his favor surround you. May your journey be filled with testimonies of his guidance and sustenance. May you always be reminded that wherever you go, the Lord is already there, leading and protecting you. Genesis 31:3. Then the Lord said to Jacob, "Go back to the land of your fathers and to your relatives, and I will be with you." This was a promise of restoration and companionship. After years of hardship in a foreign land, God called Jacob to return home, assuring him of his presence and guidance along the way. May the Lord lead you back to every place of promise that He has ordained for you. May you walk in confidence, knowing that His presence goes before you. May you experience restoration in every area where you have been displaced, delayed, or discouraged. May His hand be upon you as you step into new seasons, and may you never feel alone, for He has promised to be with you wherever you go. May He guide your every step as you return to the fullness of His plans for your life. Genesis 31:42. If the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had not been with me, you would surely have sent me away empty-handed. But God has seen my hardship and the toil of my hands, and last night He rebuked you. Jacob acknowledged that God had been his defender and provider, protecting him even in the face of injustice. Though Laban sought to take advantage of him, God saw his struggles and intervened on his behalf. This promise reassures us that God sees every hardship, fights for His own, and rewards the labor of our hands. May the Lord be your defender and provider. May every injustice against you be overturned by His hand. May He see your struggles and turn them into testimonies of His faithfulness. May He rebuke every force that seeks to rob you of what is rightfully yours. May the toil of your hands never be in vain, but instead, may divine favor establish and bless your work. May you never be sent away empty-handed, but leave every season of difficulty with a greater blessing than you imagine. The Lord has seen your labor, and He will vindicate you. Genesis 32:26-28. Then the man said, "Let me go, for it is daybreak." But Jacob replied, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." The man asked him, "What is your name?" "Jacob," he answered. Then the man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome." This was a promise of transformation and victory. Jacob wrestled with God and refused to let go until he received a blessing. In that moment, his identity was changed, and he stepped into a new destiny. May you persist in faith, never letting go of God's promises over your life. May your struggles lead to transformation, bringing you into the fullness of who He has called you to be. May every label of your past be removed as He renames you according to His divine purpose. May you walk as an overcomer, knowing that every battle you endure is shaping you for greater things. May your life be marked by divine encounters that shift you into a new season of blessing, strength, and purpose. Genesis 35:11-12. And God said to him, "I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and increase in number. A nation and a community of nations will come from you, and kings will be among your descendants. The land I gave to Abraham and Isaac I also give to you, and I will give this land to your descendants after you." This was a promise of legacy and dominion. After years of wandering and struggle, God reaffirmed His covenant with Jacob, reminding him that his destiny was far greater than what he could see. May you walk in the fullness of God's calling over your life. May your influence extend beyond what you ever imagined. May kings and leaders rise from your legacy, impacting the world for God's glory. May the land He has prepared for you be established under your feet, ensuring that your inheritance is secure. May your life not just be fruitful, but overflowing, touching generations with divine favor and authority. Genesis 39, 2-3. The Lord was with Joseph so that he prospered, and he lived in the house of his Egyptian master. When his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord gave him success in everything he did, Joseph found favor in his eyes and became his attendant. This was a promise of favor and divine presence. Even in slavery, Joseph prospered because God's hand was upon him. His success was evident to those around him, and he was positioned for influence despite his circumstances. May the presence of the Lord be with you in every season of life. May His favor rest upon you, causing you to prosper in every place He positions you. May your success be evident to all, not because of your own strength, but because of His divine hand upon you. May He elevate you in unexpected places and grant you influence, even in situations that seem unfavorable. May your faithfulness lead to greater doors of opportunity, and may your life be a reflection of God's unstoppable favor. Genesis 41, 41-43. So Pharaoh said to Joseph, I hereby put you in charge of the whole land of Egypt. Then Pharaoh took his signet ring from his finger and put it on Joseph's finger. He dressed him in robes of fine linen and put a gold chain around his neck. He had him ride in a chariot as his second in command, and people shouted before him, Make way! Thus he put him in charge of the whole land of Egypt. This was a promise of divine promotion. After years of trials, Joseph was lifted from prison to palace, stepping into the fulfillment of the dreams God had given him. May you step into sudden promotion by the hand of the Lord. May years of preparation lead to a divine moment where everything shifts in your favor. May the Lord lift you from every low place and set you in positions of divine favor and authority. May He place His signet of approval upon you, opening doors that no one can shut. May you be clothed in honor and wisdom, stepping into the destiny He has prepared for you. May every delay in your life be transformed into a testimony of His faithfulness. May He accelerate your promotion, causing you to walk in the fullness of His calling. May your story be one of divine turnaround, where what was meant for harm is used for your elevation and God's glory. Genesis 45, 7-8. But God sent me ahead of you to preserve for you a remnant on earth and to save your lives by a great deliverance. So then, it was not you who sent me here, but God. Joseph recognized that what seemed like a painful betrayal was actually part of God's divine plan to save lives. God can turn any situation around for His purpose. May you see God's hand in every situation, even in seasons of difficulty. May you trust that what others meant for harm, God is using for your good. May you walk with confidence, knowing that you are not where you are by accident, but by divine placement. May you find strength in knowing that God is always ahead of you, orchestrating your path for a greater purpose. May your life be a beacon of hope and deliverance to those around you, testifying that God turns every trial into triumph. Genesis 50:20. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. Joseph's story is a powerful testament to divine redemption. Though he endured betrayal, hardship, and suffering, God used every trial to position him for a greater purpose. This promise assures us that no attack, betrayal, or setback can prevent God's plan. What the enemy means for harm, God can turn for good. May every attack against you be turned into divine promotion. May every setback become a setup for a greater purpose. May the Lord take what was meant for your downfall and use it to elevate you. May your trials refine and position you for something greater. May your pain become the foundation of your testimony, inspiring others to trust in the Lord. Walk in confidence, knowing that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. May your life be a living declaration of what the enemy meant for evil, my God has turned into good. As you meditate on these promises, may your heart be anchored in the unshakable truth that God's plans for you are sovereign and eternal. No trial, setback, or opposition can thwart what he has ordained. Just as he lifted Joseph from the pit to the palace, blessed Isaac in a land of famine, and expanded Abraham's inheritance beyond what he could see, so will he fulfill every word spoken over your life. Do not waver in faith when circumstances seem contrary to the promise. Stand firm in obedience, for his blessings are found in the place of his will. Trust in his perfect timing, for delay is not denial, but preparation. Walk with confidence, knowing that he who has called you is faithful and he will do it. May you step boldly into his promises, live as a testimony of his faithfulness, and leave a legacy of faith that will bless generations to come. What the enemy meant for evil, God will turn for good. His covenant is everlasting, his favor unshakable, and his purpose for you unstoppable. Rise, walk in faith, and take hold of all that he has prepared for you. If this message has blessed you, help us reach more people by liking this video. Subscribe for more scripture-based content that strengthens faith and brings peace. Comment your favorite promise or share how this video has impacted your prayer life. Finally, don't forget to share this with your friends and family so they too can be encouraged by God's Word.